Welcome to the world premiere of the Spring of Judea and Samaria.
Shalom Aleichem, everybody. First and foremost, I want to thank our beloved Father God, the God of Israel, who guided me through over 120 Jewish communities throughout Judea and Samaria, are also known as Yehuda and Shomron, and eventually led to this movie that you're about to see today. Today, we are gathered on behalf of the most sacred piece of land in the universe, and this is Judea and Samaria, the land of God. Of course, some call it the West Bank, but we, as Jews, know that on this land, dedicated Jewish souls have entered into a struggle to settle it despite the world being against them. If the world only knew that their peace depends on Jews settling, building, and living in this land. Here is where our fathers received the promises that one day their descendants would inherit this land. Tikkun Olam, the restoration of the world, cannot take place without Jews returning and living in this land with shalom. And today you will meet for the first time the people who, with God's help, are making it happen. Unfortunately, slander, lies, misinterpretations, sometimes just plain ignorance, not understanding, deceptions, they have ruled the airwaves for 40 years. It was about 40 years ago when the first struggle to form a community was successful, and that is in the community of Kiryat Arba by Hebron. And yes, that's Kiryat Arba we read in the Torah, but it was out of sight and out of mind for many, many years until some righteous people took the challenge. Today, a new light will shine on the truth of the situation. The spring of a new era is rising. Today, we will hear all of the communities. If there is one thing I would like to ask of you tonight, and that is to be good listeners. We consider it a virtue of Judaism to be good listeners. The people in this documentary, they want to tell you their story. They want you to know firsthand about their struggles, their sacrifices, their successes, and they want you to know what they believe and to show you their communities and the culture. Please hear their words. There's no idle words here. Every word is so important. If there's one thing I would like to accomplish tonight, it is that all this land, the people, the communities, would be moved from the head knowledge, but something that would be implanted within the heart, balev, in the heart. You know, balev in Hebrew is the heart. And when all this is in our hearts, then we will be inspired to want to be part of this great work of building up the land of Judea and Samaria. This is a land where the Jewish kingdom gave birth under Joshua. And now a new spiritual foundation is being laid. And the building up of this land should be a project of the Jews of the whole world. It's so important. And just by coming out tonight, you actually have begun the process. Whether lending an ear, buying a ticket, or making a donation, you have seized the moment and have done a great thing. We just saw a video on two wonderful institutions of learning headed by righteous people. That anyone's inspired to want to further help them, afterwards there's a table outside and you can get more information, donations. In fact, the brochure you have has information on contact information on the two institutions of learning you just saw. There's also DVDs for sale of this movie, which you're about to see, and buy it and take it and show the Jewish world. The tide is changing. 64% of Israelis in the last fall are now supporting the settlement of these communities. And I want to thank you all for coming, because you have helped advance the process of bringing Tikkun Olam to the world by your interest and help toward the communities. May the God of Israel write down your names in Shemayim and reward you in Olam Hazeh, Olam Haba, in this world and in the world to come. Baruch Hashem.